check out the new boots that I got. They are the cutest red boots, and I didn't realize until I was already out here that they match my shirt. I'm so pleased with that. They are protecting me from all of the gross, yucky, sloggy stuff that has been left from the ice polar vortex that covered the land for the past week. I completely forgot to do the intro, but welcome back to The Homegrown Artist, or welcome to The Homegrown Artist. If you are new here, my name is Michaela. Let's get back into it. I had to run to the car to grab a blanket because it's a lot colder than I thought it was going to be. It is a beautiful, blustery day. Everything is gross. We gotta talk, man. This past week has been bonkers. It was an extra break that no one accounted for. I'm not complaining about that. But being inside for so long, because I'm not used to that at all, it gives you a lot of time to think. And I had a lot rumbling around in the old noggin. I did take notes because if I don't write stuff down, it's gone out of my brain the second I think it. As I have tried to get things together, get my life together, as I've tried to figure out what my next step is and figure out where to go from where I am now and where I want to go from where I am now, which is half the battle, because figuring that kind of stuff out when you are someone that has avoided having a passion, it's tough. I spent a lot of my teenage years and a lot of my young adulthood not really feeling like I had a passion, like I had a vocation, a calling, something that I would peel my skin off if I didn't get to do it. I didn't have that. More accurately, I didn't let myself have that. Subconsciously, I avoided it, and then it turned into a conscious avoidance of, well, if I don't want to do anything, then when the things that I try to do don't work, that's not on me. Some of the biggest conversations / intense discussions I ever had with my mother when I was that age, because she's incredibly supportive. And my entire life, she said, whatever you want to do, whatever you're passionate about, let me know and I'll help you get there. And I would return with I don't know what I'm passionate about. I don't know what I want to do. And I think for me, it was more of I don't want to let myself be passionate about something, because if I'm passionate about something and one, not good at it, I end up picking the wrong thing to be passionate about, or it doesn't go anywhere and still have to do things for work that I'm not passionate about, then what's the point of having a passion? I have come to understand, as does usually happen with time, where my thinking was really flawed, where it was motivated a lot by fear, where it was motivated by this desire to protect myself from failure that had not happened yet, that I wasn't even sure would happen. It was, for me, I think, a form of pride. The way that pride showed itself in my behavior and in my thoughts was I was too proud to let myself fail. I wanted to save my future self the pain of failing in front of people, so I just didn't try at all. I knew if I put myself down and doubted myself and didn't really hold any stock in the things that I was capable of, when I managed to achieve something, I could be excited about that and go, oh yeah, cool, I did that, that was me. And when I was not good at something, or when I failed at something, or when something flopped horribly, I could think, oh, well, I expected that because I knew that was going to happen. I'm prepared for that outcome. And what actually happened, instead of me being prepared for that outcome, was when something would go better than I had hoped, or when I would succeed at something, I would think, oh, well, that was just a fluke. I still suck at everything. And when I would fail, I would think, oh, yeah, no, that's because I suck at everything. So all of that disordered and twisted thinking led to the same place of digging myself a little hole and sitting there. I have a better understanding of where that comes from, and am much more capable now because I've worked a lot and I've built up a toolbox of strategies and different internal dialogues for myself, so that when that happens, where I'm mentally kicking myself while I'm down, I am much more capable of taking a step back and going, okay, stop it, take a deep breath, let's go get a cup of tea, let's get a snack. Being able to pinpoint why I'm feeling that way about whatever it was that happened. oh, well, I'm just a perfectionist. You know, I just want things to be good. I do want things to be good. I want the things I put out in the world, as I'm sure many of you do. We want them to be good. We want people to see the effort that we put in them. We want people to see the heart and the thought and the time that went into it. And when we put that heart and time and thought and effort into something and it doesn't do what we thought it would do, it's not a great feeling. I think that one of the reasons we feel so let down, I know, and I'm not the first person, this is not an original thought, because I don't think I've ever had an original thought in my entire life. That feeling comes from viewing our lives as performance. And now, especially with social media, and here's where I'm gonna, I've got my grandma sweater on because gosh darn social media, that'll get you. Get off your phone, kids. But for real, there is such a fine line that has to be walked between using social media and using YouTube and using Instagram, Facebook, all of the things that are out there to benefit our lives, but not let it run our lives. A majority of my life where I've been like a conscious human being, there has been some form of social media. Now, when I was younger and even in my teens, it wasn't nearly the behemoth that it is now. I think that social media and having our little pocket computers, having our devices that allow us to share anything that comes into our brains, anything that happens in our lives, overshare what happens in our lives, it makes us feel like we have to have only sensational things that happen in our lives. There's a lot of good that has come out of our ability to connect with people online. There's a lot of good that has come out of that, and I know it's ironic me saying this in a YouTube video and you watching this YouTube video, but social media has kind of turned that on its head to where we try to make every part of our lives sensational, and we feel guilty or we feel bad or we feel boring when it's not sensational enough to be shared, and thusly we feel like we have to share everything. You don't. Please don't share everything. Not everything that happens in your life, not every thought you have in your head, not every experience that you have is meant to be shared, is necessary to be shared. That grammatically doesn't make sense, but you get what I mean. Some things that happen, you just need to keep to yourself, just for your sake. There are some things, some of the wonderful things that happen in your lives, in your heart, in your mind, in your day-to-day, that is not meant to be shared. That is for you to cherish. And maybe at some point down the road, there is a lesson that has come from that experience that you share with people. There is something so precious about our lives, about life in general, that I don't think we know how to really cherish enough anymore. Looking at my screen time, my screen time, my friend. If you have not checked in with your screen time on your phone lately, I encourage you to. Maybe just consider the amount of time you spend on the internet. I'm seeing, from at least my perspective and talking with my friends and the people that I hold dear, there is sort of this wave of exhaustion from the oversaturation we have been receiving. Stuff and noises and colors and story time and all of this stuff. Does anyone do story time anymore? I feel like they don't. That was a Vine thing. We are just done. We have needed an escape for so long that we are tired of our escape because we are like, man, let's go back to the thing that we tried to escape, the world that we live in. Let's go touch grass. I love touching grass. Grass is great. And I'm really hunching down. I'm gonna change the camera angle, so it's gonna change mid-video. I'm sorry. Your words have power. Your words, the words that you speak and the words that you think, have an incredible amount of power over your life. And I'm not saying that in the manifest sort of way. When I tell myself that I'm not gonna do well and I'm gonna suck at this because I'm a terrible person and I suck at everything, or just because I'm not that good at it, it really does affect the outcome. The way that you think about yourself, the way that you talk to yourself, and the way that you talk to others affects the outcome of your life. I feel like that's common knowledge. Like, that is common sense, that the things that we say, the things that we think affect our lives. Sometimes it seems like we're all just relying on this magical thing to happen in our lives, this moment where it will all align and all make sense. The stars are in alignment and I am working on my passion and things are going exactly as planned and I have found who I am, and like the birds are singing and the sun is peeking over the horizon and you hear the angels, hallelujah. I mean, you may have those moments, those brief, glorious moments where you know what's going on and you know where you're going. And those are fantastic, but they don't last. Cherish that and hold on to that so that when that feeling fades, you still know that, okay, just because I don't necessarily feel that way anymore, or just because, you know, the next thing I try after that may not go as well, that doesn't mean that I'm not capable. Because I have been capable before and I am capable now. And just because I don't do as well at this one thing, this one time, think of all the stuff that I've done before. Think of where I came from, the improvements that I've made. I hope that will help you put things into perspective, because you will hit slumps. You will hit slumps. Even once you find what you love and what you're passionate about, and once you find that thing that just fulfills you and feels right, or that thing you realize that you always wanted to do but you never had the courage because people told you it wasn't a worthy dream, once you find that thing, you'll hit slumps where you don't feel motivated to do it. And I have heard this a lot, but you can't rely on motivation alone to get things done. Whew, Lord, it is cold. I'm trying to have a heart-to-heart, but the wind is shaking my bones. We've gotten to the point where now it feels like our lives have to be performances. And maybe that's just me. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Friend, we have to have this aesthetic thing, this sensational story. We have to have this thing. We have to have all of this stuff to make our lives worth living and sharing. I love pretty things. I love when I can get a good shot, when I have a good background, when I have a good angle when I'm filming. I love my aesthetic videos, but I love those things in tandem with the knowledge that that is not the norm. That is not always the way it is, and there is a beauty in the messiness of life. There is a quality of worth that I can't even begin to describe in the mess that life is. I want you to remember a couple of things from this. If you have made it this far, I congratulate you. Your life is not a performance, it is your life. Even if you are a performer, even if you do social media, even if you are an influencer, even if you are just wanting to post videos or post things to share cool stuff you enjoy, your life is not a performance. Your life is your life. It is worth living. We were made to live this life like we're actually alive. Your worth as a person, your worth as an individual, your worth as a human being, your life, the worth of your existence has nothing to do and is not based on the applause that you may get through sharing things or through accomplishments or through achievements. Your worth is so much more than any recognition you get. Now, acknowledgement is great. And when people look at something you've done and say, hey, that's awesome, I love that, good for you, enjoy those things too. It's a little spice of life, you know? It's the cherry on top. But to be able to enjoy those moments, you have to know that you are not the summation of your failures alone. You are not the summation of your successes and the applause or the boo that you may receive for either one. That has nothing to do with your worth, because you are worth life. I hope this has held something that you needed to hear, that you have a wonderful day, and that you find one thing in your day today that is beautiful, that is lovely, that is funny, that makes you laugh, that makes you smile, that makes you appreciate being alive. And if you have trouble finding that, I will leave some of my favorite things in the comments below that you can enjoy with me. And I feature a lot of my favorite things in my videos, so check those out. Live like you are alive today and do the best you can. You are cherished, you are loved by the Most High, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!